I'm Brother Bob from SmackDown Radio, and we do usually a weekly YouTube channel. We cover, the current pro wrestling stuff. Everything from WWE to Ring of Honor, New Japan Wrestling, MLW. We try to cover some of the independent stuff. We did a show with Independence Pro Wrestling when they were in Grand Rapids for their first show. So we try to cover a little bit of everything. And I don't know, I just thought it'd be cool to come here and talk to you guys about the connection between like comic books and pro wrestling, especially since we're in town for WrestleMania weekend anyway.
That's cool. And hi, this is Ming Chen, and welcome to a shared universe, my friend.
Thank you.
SmackDown Radio.
Yes.
All right, cool. And Mike Zapcic, welcome to a shared universe. What do you think?
Very cool. I love the setup in here. It
Cool.
looks great.
All right.
We're missing a wrestling ring. That'll be
Yeah,
when we get our own building. There'll be a wrestling ring in the basement.
In the basement, we're putting it in the basement. Or an octagon.
Oh yeah, but or both. Let's do
Yeah.
both.
All right, we're going to get the...
Yeah, we're getting both.
You gonna have your guests fight it out?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, why the hell not?
Yeah, we saw the octagon with Chuck Norris.
I love the octagon with Chuck Norris.
What's the one with Jean-Claude Van Damme with Mate
Bloodsport?
Bloodsport. We saw that. Mortal Kombat. I mean, we're all fans of all this stuff. So, but we love wrestling. Maybe I'm not up to date on the newer stuff. Just casually here and there. I think me and Mike are more like Hulk Hogan, Macho Man.
Actually, I'm even more old school with Chief J Strongbow and Ivan Putski, the Polish Hammer. That was my heyday. I used to watch it on WOR, which was like our, how you have the three biggies, ABC, CBS, and NBC, and then you had the affiliate.
Yes.
That was not the
stations.
biggie.
No, and we had 1, 2, 3 affiliates. One was Channel 5, one was Channel 9, one was Channel 11. 11 was WPIX. Channel 5 was like WNYW. They had like 4 letters. And the Channel 9 was WOR. They couldn't even afford the fourth letter.
Yeah.
So it was the cheesy one. That's what wrestling was on. It's like, yes, this is great.
Now, did you get a chance to watch the Andre the Giant HBO documentary?
Have not. But, I mean,
Fantastic.
I have. I was a huge Andre the Giant fan ever since $6 Million Man meets Bigfoot.
Yes, absolutely.
So and Andre I would watch him wrestle.
Yep.
Back in the day, he was that guy who was, and I was like, holy crap, this guy makes absolutely no sense, but he terrifies me.
Yeah, but he looked as big as a mountain, and he was Hulk Hogan's arch nemesis. So
Yeah.
that's why I loved him.
Yep. And watching the documentary, it really brings to light how good he was in the ring, because through the majority of his American career, he was suffering, a lot of pain due to his gigantism, and just the ability to travel, like they had to like curtain off an area of the airplane and have a bucket for him to use the bathroom because he couldn't make it into the bathroom of the plane. So
and he also suffered from travel sickness, so that it would.
Whoa, you're Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Ish.
Me? Yeah. No, we share a similar sickness.
Okay.
But I'm far from Andre the Giant. That man was amazing, and I did some research on him, and just a fascinating guy. Mm-hmm. He was driven to school by, in France by someone very famous, wasn't he?
I'm not sure who
I forget who it was. It was like
Gerard
James,
Depardieu.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
No, it was like a
Jean Reno. Those are the only two famous French.
someone's gonna
that I
fact
know.
check
Sure.
for me, but I think it was a famous writer.
He had a driver.
Well, he would be walking to school, and it would take him a long time because
He's a big dude,
he's
yep.
huge, and this author would drive by and just let him jump in the back of the pickup.
Not little boy, but hey,
Hey, Andre the almost giant,
yeah,
jump
you
in the
wanna ride
back.
to school, and I guess he was like, sure, like you
Yeah.
ain't gonna kick my ass. So.
No.
Hey,
Okay.
6'6" teenager, can you want to
Right.
hop in the car?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love seeing the school pictures
Yep.
of him like just towering over these like little kids. And,
Yeah, I know.
But he's the same age.
Like Jack and the Giant,
Yeah.
or Jack and the Beanstalk. He's
Yeah.
like, holy crap, he's holding on to like a golden harp and a golden goose. It's great.
yeah.
So
But,
you mentioned Macho Man, right?
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah.
So you know how Macho Man ties into the incredible story of how Macho Man ties into the comic book genre, right?
I don't regale me of this story.
So Randy Poffo is his real name.
Yeah.
He played baseball.
For the Cardinals, right?
Yeah, for their minor league affiliate.
Yeah.
threw out his right shoulder. He was a pitcher. He had to retire.
Sure.
Decided to become a wrestler. The wrestling name he took was the Spider, and it was a Spider-Man knockoff for his early matches. And I think we all know where this leads to years later.
Yeah.
You know, with the Spider-Man movie.
Bonesaw.
Yes, Bonesaw.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
where he got to fight Spider-Man.
Crazy. Yeah,
that's pretty cool, man. It's a good story.
Yeah, it's an interesting way, like, you know, the world turns and you get from, like, you know, point A to point, you know, to point Z, and you're like, oh, you're right back where you started.
Everything full circles, man.
Yep. Yeah, if you read Amazing Fantasy 15, the very first appearance of Spider-Man, he tried to cash in on his newfound powers by being a wrestler.
Yep, against Crusher Hogan.
Crusher Hogan.
First appearance of Crusher Hogan. Yeah. Interestingly, in the House of M series, where, you know, it changed reality due to Scarlet Witch wanting to keep her, wanting to have children and wanting the mutants to rule the world. In that series, Peter Parker is basically The Rock. You know, in the series, he's become a huge movie star who started as a wrestler. His nemesis, the Green Goblin, was a wrestling gimmick worn by Crusher Hogan, and I'm like, oh, this is really cool. The way they turned this and really focused on, like, the pro wrestling aspect of it was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I first started watching pro wrestling, I guess I was about 9 or 10, and my mom was trying to prevent me from watching such amazing entertainment until I had her convinced that pro wrestling was the wrestling they did in the Olympics, and that, you know, this is like serious wrestling. I was like, that guy, he won a gold medal in I don't know, like 1976. She's like, oh, really? Okay, I guess you can keep watching this.
Look at Mr. Fuji. He's representing.
He's
Mom.
representing
Come on.
Japan. Yeah. So
You
that's
know,
how I got her convinced. I told her it's real, like.
And even though she's Chinese, Japan, Chinese. Come on, Mom. You know.
But she didn't know the difference between pro wrestling, like Greco-Roman wrestling. Thank God. So I got to.
Had you been lucky enough to grow up during the 90s, you could have just went on the internet and been like, look, this is Kurt Angle. There he is with his gold medals. Because, I mean, it did come to pass. We got an Olympic gold medalist.
Yeah, that part came true. So, all right, Mike's got to go open the store.
I'm sorry, I have to go and open the store, folks.
Do you have any thoughts before you leave, though?
Wrestling and comic books are so good together.
Absolutely. Thanks, Mike.
Right on. Mike Zapcic, everybody. Mike Zapcic. There he goes. After a major medical procedure, he pulled the IVs from his arms, and he was able to come here to be on SmackDown Radio,
which is awesome. And
it's like the Royal Rumble, man. We just threw him out of the ring.
Yeah, exactly.
It's down to us two.
Yeah,
and an unknown figure, shadowy figure, unseen over there.
Jordan all hiding in the corner.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll hit him with a blind chair attack when we go visit the secret stash later.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, it's like, come on, man. It's just a chair. Like, you know, a man up, man.
Yeah.
So you're here. You're here for there's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. Can you
so much
outline everything that you're going to do this weekend?
Yeah, there is so much going on there. We started looking at the schedule, and I'm like, well, we'll get in almost in time to make that on Thursday, so we're probably not doing it. Well, if we do this, we can't do that. If we do that, we can't do this. I'm like, it was like the logistics of so much stuff, and it's all over. It's New Jersey, New York. There's stuff in Brooklyn. There's stuff further out. I believe there's something going on in Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh.
So this is a whole freaking wrestling weekend. And
absolutely.
So I just I believe WrestleMania is going on this weekend, correct? And in concurrence with that, WrestleCon.
Yes,
it's also going on in New York. But there's more. So where are you going to start?
Well, we the reason we're here and came out to New York area is because of New Japan Ring of Honor, the G1 Supercard at Madison Square Garden. It is the first time a non-WWE company has run Madison Square Garden since the 60s. That's a huge deal.
Huge.
Yeah, I mean, it can't be overstated.
Yeah.
And then there's just like so many other cool things going on. Some of the guys from Japan who are coming over for that, the Bullet Club guys, they're hosting their own block party.
Okay.
Which is probably the best deal of the weekend. It was $150 for a VIP pass with an open bar, a buffet, meet and greet with all the guys.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you get the meet and greet.
Autograph on the poster by everybody. A second autograph on an item you bring with you on an 8x10s. And you get to hang out all day before next door to WrestleMania. You get to hang out all day and play cornhole and pop shot basketball and just hang out with the guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's my full day Sunday then.
Oh yeah, for
I'm
sure.
Like, there's no reason to spend money on anything else.
Yeah.
It's starting at like 8 a.m. and it's going until the start of WrestleMania. So that's your whole day.
I mean, it's basically a party with the wrestlers all day.
Absolutely.
And you can go and hang out with them.
Yep. And
that's awesome.
And having done StarCast and All In last September, one of the things we really loved about that event is, unlike a Comic-Con where, like you just did C2E2.
Yeah.
Where they'll bring the celebrities out to the back, they'll bring them to their booth, they'll sign autographs.
Yeah, you gotta wait in line, and you have maybe a minute, maybe if you're lucky 2 minutes with them if you say something compelling enough to be like, oh, if they're like, hey, tell me more about that.
Well, the signing was a similar situation at StarCast. The cool part was when you're in the bar, and then sitting in the bar next to you is like Bullet Club members.
Yeah.
When you're walking through the hallway and you bump into Diamond Dallas Page, or my child tries to walk through Road Warrior Animal,
right?
You know, there's people all over the place and they're all interacting, and the fans were cool enough not to
be overbearing, or
not to be like, oh, sign this, please.
Yeah.
Without
kind of like, hey, how you doing? Maybe a quick photo, and then you move on. But,
absolutely.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like that's all, and that's all I ask for. I'm a fan of. I'm a fan just like anybody else. So yeah, what do we want? Just a moment.
Yep. Just
a moment and a photo so we can post on Instagram. That's pretty much it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and
that's great, man.
Yeah, I mean,
so does that start today? Today's Friday for anybody listening.
Stuff started yesterday. 11 o'clock last night was TNA Impact Wrestling.
Okay.
They had their big show. They just announced signing of Rob Van Dam, so he's
Nice.
back to wrestling.
Wow.
Which is cool. But they had their big show last night. Bloodsport Wrestling had a big thing at like 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon. I'm like, wow, you guys are starting early.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, oh, that'd be really cool. I'd love to go to that. And I'm like, I'm not going to even be in town by 4.
Right.
Like that 12-hour drive from Michigan's rough.
Yeah. You came from Grand Rapids here to the East Coast, so that's dedication, man.
Yeah. Well, I'm not making that 12-hour drive back. I can tell you that. We're driving halfway and staying in Pittsburgh.
Smart.
And
Smart.
Yep. I think we might check out. Pittsburgh's got a pretty cool sports museum, which actually has Kurt Angle is in it, as well as Bruno Sammartino. So that should be pretty cool to check out.
Yeah. That's
something,
awesome.
Something else to shoot, more content for the channel.
That's awesome. Yeah, I need more wrestling memorabilia in here. There is a photo of me and the great Ric Flair up there on the wall.
That's nice. Did you let him chop you?
No, I think he did not chop me. I think we had a nice conversation. That was pretty much it. Yeah, he's Ric Flair. Before he got sick, I guess a couple of years ago, I would see him at cons, and he would be like, "Hey man, he would buy me drinks." So that was
wow.
I can tell my kids that
having drinks for Ric Flair, that's the story.
Yeah, he has since stopped drinking since his health scare, so which is a pretty good idea. So
absolutely,
but
it's nice to see so many guys who are rebounding from these health issues and are taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Jake the Snake Roberts. Scott Hall as well.
Jake the Snake, who I've literally seen every weekend since like January. It's weird. Well, not weird. Awesome. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool because he was a hero of mine as well. Yeah. I guess when I started watching him, he was sort of a good guy, and then he turned heel. But like he was always a fascinating character. Loved his finishing move, the DDP, of course, the deadly DDT, deadly drop time, and. Yeah, no, he's on the convention circuit, and for whatever reason, we've been going to the same conventions almost every week. So he has this joke where we'll have a booth like maybe 100 feet away from each other, and he'll like, hey, he'll start waving at me. He's like, hey, Ming. He'll start waving at me. I'll wave back. He's like, hey, man, it's great to see you. And then I'll go up to him. He's like, you know what I was saying from back here, right? I'm like, no, what were you saying? I was waving, and he's like, hey, Ming, suck my cock, my cock, and I'd be like, yeah, all right, I will, like. But I couldn't hear him, so I thought he was just greeting me. But yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's the guy who doesn't hold back. If we're at a con and it's kind of slow, he'll be like, "Oh, this sucks," and I just can't help but laugh. So he's But yeah, I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably knew the struggles that he went through with the drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, almost
died. Health was really bad, and then DDP, Diamond Dallas Page, kind of pulled him out with the yoga and Jake, he's looking pretty strong now.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite moments of StarCast is bumping into Diamond Dallas Page in the hallway and just having an opportunity to say, thank you for what you've done outside of the ring. Like, thank you for what you've done for Scott and for Jake, because both those guys need that help. And as fans, we love those guys too. So
yeah, and just a lot of
you know,
people. I've seen some videos that people made amazing transformations due to his his health and wellness message.
Yep.
And yeah, that's pretty cool. He's really gone out and saw he had a venue to help people out, and did saved a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I've dabbled in some DDP yoga,
Yeah.
and it's something that, you know, even with limited flexibility, you can do.
Oh yeah, for
So
sure.
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I do believe my regular co-host Travis is planning on starting DDP yoga now as well. He's
Do it, Travis.
Yeah,
do it.
He's a truck driver, so he's on the road all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah,
And he's like, man, my joints ache, my back hurts.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm getting old. I'm like, well, like maybe the yoga thing will probably
Yeah.
help with that.
It
So,
will
yeah.
for sure. So so when do you start? So you didn't go to any of the events from yesterday. So what's your first thing up on the agenda?
Well, we're
besides
here.
podcasting
We're here. We're hitting Secret Stash, and then maybe hitting up WWE Access Store. It's either today or tomorrow.
All right, and that's in the
We'll be doing
city?
that. Yeah, that's
Okay.
in Brooklyn.
Oh, Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so we'll probably be doing that. Just there's so much cool merchandise that is
Oh,
like
yeah.
WrestleMania exclusive that it would be cool to.
Of course, with the exclusives, it's like it doesn't end whether you're at a Comic-Con or at a WrestleCon or a wrestling event or whatever it is. There's exclusives or where all the money's at.
Well, I'm really hoping like they've released this new Daniel Bryan belt. I know you're not currently up to date with what's going on, but he's like a environmentalist character.
Okay.
And so he's like, I'm being a hypocrite carrying this world title. It's got leather and gold
Right.
and blood diamonds. I'm not carrying this. And he came out with a
Like a vegan version?
a wood grain belt on hemp.
Okay.
With like turquoise instead of like diamonds.
Right.
And I'm like, that's awesome. Like that is such a cool looking belt. Why aren't you selling this yet? He's been champion for at least 3 months now.
Yeah.
I'm like, get this belt out. Hopefully they have it here this weekend because I would love to purchase it.
Right.
Yeah. So
I'm hoping, and who knows? You pick up an extra of an exclusive. You pay for your whole trip, possibly if you throw it up online.
exactly. And
Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. It's helping people who can't get the item get it.
Sure.
You know, it's something else when you're going out and taking up a bunch of
you're buying like
time and you're buying up a bunch of stuff to have them sign it and then you're selling it. But if it's an exclusive and you can get it out there, that's always helpful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. That's cool. So here's Stash, the W All Access store. Are there any events going on tonight?
Well, tonight is NXT WWE's developmental.
Yep.
So I'm pretty sure we're gonna grab some brick oven pizza and chill in the hotel room and watch that.
Yeah.
Because that seems like an awesome plan. Originally, we planned on going to the Hall of Fame because the Hall of Fame would have been Friday night, NXT was Saturday,
Right.
and Sunday was WrestleMania. We couldn't do NXT because it was going to be on top of Ring of Honor.
Okay.
But then WWE switched Hall of Fame and NXT, and I'm like, well, I guess we're not going to make Hall of Fame then because it's a different night, and tickets at that point had already gone on sale for NXT.
Oh man, so you just got to pick and choose then.
Yeah,
like anything else in life.
But yeah, very cool though that we get to go. Joey Ryan's got a documentary coming out. We're gonna get a chance to go to that. Just like a block from our hotel.
Yeah.
Beer City Brawlers got autograph signing at a cigar shop a couple blocks from our hotel.
Holy crap! Okay, so it's just
like,
stuff all
we're
over
just
then.
Gonna hit what we can.
Yeah, it sounds like kind of like San Diego Comic-Con, where a lot of the media companies and they'll take vacant storefronts or operating storefronts and just hold events there. They're like little pop-up. They call them activations.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. I mean, there is stuff every place. I was shocked by just how many different companies are here. Dragon Gate's here. There's some of the New Japan guys who are wrestling on Saturday who wrestled last night at a show. So I'm like, man, people pulling double duty.
Oh yeah, but I think they have to though.
Yeah.
They gotta work a little harder. So with the Ring of Honor, New Japan selling out Madison Square Garden, like you said, it's the first non-WWF WWE event to sell out Madison Square Garden since the '60s. Vince, do you think he's running scared a little bit?
Well, like I said, he did move NXT to a different night, and apparently, word has it, Chris Jericho in his podcast pretty much said that he was like uninvited from all WrestleMania stuff this weekend, and was told he can't have any more WWE wrestlers on his podcast because he's with AEW now.
Yeah.
So
okay, so
you
you don't do that unless you're a little fearful of the competition.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, of which there's a lot out there, and it's all quality stuff. So
Yeah, and I mean the rumor, like, we don't know yet if Undertaker's going to show up at WrestleMania at all. Like, he's not booked for
Yeah.
anything, the first time in a long time, but he is booked on StarCast Double or Nothing weekend for AEW weekend.
yeah,
So that's a thing too that I guess Vince is pretty irate about that.
sure.
But we'll see. We'll see how things go. Their big show is end of May, so yeah, it's an exciting time in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I just saw Chris. I was at a horror convention this past weekend in Atlantic City, and a friend was like, "Hey, do you know Chris Jericho? I'd love to meet him." I was like, I don't really have a connection to him. Let's go say hi to him though. And I was walking by his table, and I was like, "Hey, Ming Chen, what's up?" I'm like, "Huh?" He's a fan of comic book men,
Nice.
and I had totally forgotten that Kevin had posted a photo with him. He's in the Jen Silent Bob reboot movie. He went down and shot for a day, but he was telling me when he takes a lot of flights, and on the in-flight entertainment is comic book men. He if it's ever there, he'll watch an episode. So that was cool. Yeah, I got a photo with my friend and him. Why I didn't think to jump in is beyond me. I should have gotten a photo with him, but really cool dude.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody
Multi-talented, yeah.
Everybody should watch Comic Book Men. I mean,
Oh,
it's
thank you.
Such a good show.
Thank you. But I mean, I don't expect that, these superstars in other worlds. I don't presume that they watch it, especially in the wrestling world. But yeah, but there are a lot of
the crossover between wrestling and comic books. I mean, you would think most of them would. I mean, we can go into that for days. I mean, we can talk about, you guys got guys like Rey Mysterio who tend to wear pro wrestling, like comic book pro wrestling gear.
Yep.
He wears the Flash or Captain America or Daredevil out to WrestleMania. Will Ospreay's wore Spider-Man gear. Finn Balor's character, the Demon, where he does this face paint, full body paint stuff.
Yeah.
Wholly based on Venom and Carnage.
Yes.
Like, he did it in Japan and then brought it over here to the U.S. as the Demon character. So I mean, such big comic book fans, I'd assume that they're watching you guys. That show would be something that I would think would appeal to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would have loved to have gotten Chris on the show had we continued, or if we ever come back. He's definitely on the top of the list.
Well, you had another Chris on the show. You had Christopher Daniels.
Yes.
Yes, and Kazarian, and those guys are hot right now.
Yeah,
SCU is just crazy hot.
Yeah, just for the record, I won a thumb wrestling competition with them. I remained victorious. So
nice.
It's not wrestling per se, but hey, man.
Hey, you got a pin. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
It was a thumb pin.
Yep.
But they have a comic book out through All Yeah Comics. So.
They do. I just happen to have it here.
Oh, do you really?
I do.
Nice. Yeah, we featured their comic on I believe it was season 4 or 5 where they came in, and
that one.
All Yeah Comics team up.
Yep. And then he also did an X-Men comic. Did you know that?
No, I didn't. Oh, you have that with you too.
I do.
Somebody's prepared today. Always prepared here on Smarkdown Radio.
Look at that first.
That's amazing. The Merry X-Men Holiday Special. That is awesome.
Yep. He that was his first writing gig for Marvel. So I think he's now officially the second wrestler who's written for Marvel besides CM Punk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I ran into about 2 weeks ago at C2E2 in Chicago. For whatever reason, when I was walking back, the hotel's connected to the convention center. When I was walking back and forth, he'd be hanging out in the lobby, waiting for someone to, I guess, take him over to the con or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I said hi to him a couple times.
Yeah, a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago ish. I was in Chicago and I was using one of those apps where you can check in at different locations.
Sure.
And I was like, trying to get my numbers up, checking in every place.
Yeah.
And I just happened to check in around places where CM Punk had posted he recently was.
Oh, so you just missed him?
Yeah, so I apparently just missed him at numerous places, and I tweeted at him. I'm like, dude, I'm not stalking you. I promise.
Yeah.
I promise. I'm not just following you around the city.
You guys have the same taste in cool stuff, so nothing wrong with that.
Like he was, we seen him jogging in the car at one point.
Yeah.
He was dragging down by Lakeshore, and we were coming up Lakeshore, and I'm like, oh, well, there went CM Punk. So I'm like, I guess we finally caught him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really interesting. Just how it seemed like we were following him around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, man, if you like the same stuff he does, and Chicago, big city, but you tend to gravitate to the same places. So yeah.
Yep. And I mean, we're there so often, it's become more of a home away from home.
Sure.
So then you kind of hit less of the touristy stuff and more of the the hometown type stuff.
Yeah,
so.
and I love C2 had a whole wrestling section, and they had a ton of wrestlers there signing autographs and taking photos. So
Yeah.
I think actually at almost every Comic-Con these days, there's at least one or two wrestling presences there. So yeah, the crossover is it's pretty strong.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's awesome. Like the Comic Cons have really become pop culture con, really. And if you don't add pro wrestling to that, you can't really have a pop culture.
Yeah. Oh
con.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But, yeah. No.
Yeah, the Bella Twins. A lot of the Wizard World shows. Dave Bautista's and besides Guardians, there's he's got half his audiences there because he's a great wrestler. Yeah. So
we got a big comic book match at WrestleMania this year.
What do we have coming up?
We have Jocko Grimwood, from Blade Trinity versus Drac the Destroyer from Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah. Big Marvel match up there.
Yeah, they should just come out in costume too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people were like, Triple H should come out dressed as Thanos just to stick it to Batista. I'm like, I don't know. Like Seth Rollins did that last year, guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, you
do that though, man. You really got to back that up though, man. You can't get thrown around dressed as Thanos.
Exactly.
Yeah. You really have to live up to that. So I would watch that though if even if they weren't names, just guys dressed up in superhero costumes wrestling each other.
Yep. And I mean, I believe there is some like of that going on, like in Japan. There's a lot of wrestlers who aren't really big names who will come out in some kind of costume.
Sure.
And that'll be the draw.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, the Tiger Mask series, that's a good example. Tiger Mask with a manga book, and he became an actual pro wrestler and became a pretty historical pro wrestler.
Sure.
I mean, he's got a lot of importance in Japanese wrestling over the years.
Yeah, for sure.
It's another example of just like that crossover.
Just leave it to the Japanese to take what the Americans do and do it better.
Oh, absolutely.
It's almost every time, man. Almost every time.
I mean, they did so in Mexico too. El Santo.
Yep.
I mean, that guy was in all the things. There's like the rumors for him are crazy. Like that he even had like his mask on in his passport and just all kind of like amazing stories about him. So, yeah, I mean that crossover has existed for years.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. So Saturday is tomorrow the big day for like events.
Saturday's got probably the most stuff going on.
All right. When does your day start tomorrow?
Well, I think we're gonna do some New York touristy stuff.
Okay, such as
we gotta go see the Ghostbuster Firehouse.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's a
yes,
must.
you do.
Yeah,
you do, especially with that coming back. They've teased it.
Yep.
And I think it's really going to happen.
Yeah, I'm excited for that, and I think the other stop we're hoping to do is the World Trade.
And Freedom Tower.
Yeah, and just the history with that.
Yeah.
In general, I mean, I still remember coming out of class in college and people freaking out about like oh my God, I never thought they'd attack us with missiles, and people were like, there was all kind of misinformation, and then was the school like canceled? Like while we're standing there, they come over the PA system and send everybody home, and I arrived home just in time to see the second plane hit, and it was surreal, and it's something
very surreal,
I'll never forget.
I didn't believe it at first. Yeah. It looked weird. It looked like not a video game, but a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one of my earliest childhood memories is the Challenger space shuttle exploding.
That looked like a movie too.
And it totally like it brought me right back to that moment, and like because we were watching, our school sent us home, like we were real little at the time, and they had the teacher on that.
Kristen McAuliffe.
Yes. And so the school told all the kids to watch it at home with their parents. So I was sitting there with my mom watching that.
It's historical.
As like a kindergartner, and
I think that made it worse. Where they made every school had a TV or whatever. Every kid was watching that day.
Yep,
it was like holy crap.
Yep, but so I definitely want to go to the Freedom Tower, and I got the kid with me, as I mentioned, and I always try when we go on any kind of vacation or any trip, I always try to do something educational.
Yeah, sure.
It's important. He's gonna miss one day of school. I'm like, well, let's
he'll live.
Yeah, I'm like, let's make sure we get a little bit of education in here.
That beats I don't know, like Greco-Roman history or whatever you'd be learning today. That bears no. No, you're not going to use that in life.
Yeah,
probably. That's awesome.
Yep.
So are you going Are you actually going to any like matches, any events tomorrow?
Tomorrow we are going to be at so we got the Joey Ryan movie release.
Yep.
We have we're gonna try to stop by and see Beer City Bruiser.
Okay.
And then right after those things is Madison Square Garden show.
Okay.
So,
Huge.
Yeah. And that'll be amazing. The matches are all top tier.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be a super long show. WrestleMania is running close to 8 hours this year.
Holy crap! 8 hours?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a long
well,
time to sit in a
you get your money's
stadium.
worth, though.
Yeah. But it's a long time to sit in a stadium.
Sure.
And I like the fact that this will be a shorter show with longer matches.
Yeah.
And
how long is it supposed to be?
the New Japan shows usually run like in that 3 to 4 hours
Okay,
when they
that's
come to the
not
US.
bad, yeah.
So yeah, that I'm assuming that's where they're going to be at. I very much doubt they'll be an 8 hour show.
Yeah. What time's it start? What time?
I believe 5 o'clock is when doors open.
Okay. Yeah.
So I think it starts at like 6:30.
Okay. Yeah, you'll be out there by 10.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yep.
And then is there stuff after?
There's a ton of stuff after, but I think my plan is to sleep because we
Okay.
have to be over to Jersey for the Bullet Club block party at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. it starts.
Yep.
Okay. And
So-
where is that in Jersey?
So MetLife Arena is over that.
Okay.
is
Yeah.
there.
Or the Meadowlands. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the arenas right in that area.
Yeah.
It's in that same block. And they have like the whole parking lot,
Yep.
set up, and they're gonna have photos
Oh,
and all
it's
that
gonna be
stuff.
fun, man.
Oh man, I'm excited.
Like I want to get into this, but I was like, I don't have time, man. Like another thing to get obsessed about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what you can do is you can pick one. So you can go
Sure.
WB, AEW, New Japan, Ring of Honor. You can pick which one you really want to get into. And that helps because
Sure.
like Michigan wise, we're starting to kick up more shows.
Okay.
And I just looked so we're here this weekend.
Yes.
And then May 12th, Ring of Honor is coming to Grand Rapids with a bunch of the Ring of Honor
Oh,
stars.
that's great. Okay.
So,
You're
bought that
obviously in
ticket.
for that. Yeah.
But then Scott Steiner and Joey Reiner in Traverse City in a couple weeks.
That's not that far from you. What, 5
hours.
5 hour drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So I'm like, all right, we could do that. But then Ultimate Dragon's going to be in Detroit like the week afterwards.
All right, that's a 3 hour drive.
I'm like,
so
all
it's not
right,
far.
well, I could probably do that. And then there's a couple shows coming up in Chicago, and I'm like, all right, it's getting a bit
Right,
ridiculous.
Grand Rapids,
There's
that's
a
what,
lot.
about a 2 hour drive.
3 hour.
3 hour drive.
Yeah.
So that's not far either.
Yep. But it's like every weekend. And I'm like, all right,
Uh-huh.
well, now we're going to have to start picking and choosing a little bit. And, it's just kind of
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. It's, Comic-Con season tends to be the same way. I
Sure.
mean,
Well, Comic Con season used to be like April or May until like October. Now it's February to November.
Yeah.
Now it's pretty much all year.
Yep, because they pushed C2E2 back till end of February now. And
yeah.
then I know Grand Rapids Comic-Con is like second week of November.
Yep. Yeah.
So it's a full year thing
Hopefully
now.
I see you there. I've talked to the guy sporadically, and I'm
Yeah.
like, hey man, like I'm a Michigan native. I like to think I'm in the comic book pop culture world, but I think being from Michigan really should it shapes you.
Yeah.
It's it makes you a better person, in my opinion.
If you can get through the sporadicness of Michigan winners,
Sure.
you can get through anything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And I bleed Fago, man. I bleed Fago soda, so I just
Yeah.
to anyone.
So you should start watching those ICP shows. So you should
Yeah,
watch.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
there are little quirks about Michigan that make you a better, stronger, just a more awesome person.
Yep.
In my
I
opinion.
mean, the fact that Michigan, it's such a spread out state.
Yeah.
But people are still willing to drive across it to go to stuff.
Sure.
And I'm like, I hear people from like Illinois, from Chicago, and they're like, yeah, I can't see going to like St. Louis for something. It's just
Yeah.
too far. I'm like, really? Because like I drive to Traverse City. That's a 5 hour drive, guys. I mean,
Yeah, but I know
know.
Grand Rapids is getting better. You could always go to Detroit or Chicago though,
Yep.
where you got a couple major cities next to you. So that's pretty amazing. Have you
Yeah.
been there all your life? Grand
yes.
Rapids?
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple of times, but more notably, I played lacrosse one year in high school, and that was our big like road game. We drove 3 hours to Grand Rapids to play. Was it East Great Falls, I believe? Whatever school.
East Grand Rapids, which
Yeah.
was East Great Falls in
American Pie. Yeah, that's right. That was the one. The school that American Pie
Yep.
was based on, which was cool. So.
Yep. So yeah.
Do you hit any of the local? Are there smaller local shows in Grand Rapids? They ever do like the high school gymnasium?
They did Independence Pro Wrestling. We went and covered their show, and those guys did really good. It was at the Masonic Temple in Grand Rapids, so that was pretty cool. An interesting venue, and I don't know. I thought they put on a pretty darn good show. There were a lot of guys you don't know the names of. They're indie guys.
Sure.
And then they had Jimmy Jacobs from Impact Wrestling.
Okay, yeah. So they try to get one name in there.
Yep, they get the one, and he's a Grand Rapids native.
Yeah.
So it's
even
cool
better.
to have him come in. And I guess they're looking at running some more West Michigan shows and trying to bring in more guys from different areas.
It's definitely an
when they do
audience
them.
there.
Yeah,
Definitely an audience.
I think so. I think they pretty much sold out their Masonic Temple show, and they had couple really good matches. I mean, everything was good, but a couple of them, like they had a hardcore tag team match, which seen a guy dive out of the rafters, seen somebody start their arm, light their arm sleeve on fire and then drop an elbow on somebody.
That's cool. So yeah, they're able to kick it up a little bit.
Yep.
Well, they have to.
Yeah,
they have to. It's like minor league baseball. They gotta, you gotta go the extra mile.
Yep.
To stand out.
Mm-hmm. So, and I mean, for their first show in the area, selling out was a big coup for them. So hopefully we see more of that locally. And like I said, Ring of Honor coming back is a big deal too, because they were in Kalamazoo 5 years ago ish, and since then they haven't done really any West Michigan shows.
Oh yeah.
So
you gotta go to West Michigan though.
Yeah. So we're like telling everybody locally, like, go buy your tickets for Ring of Honor. They're not super expensive.
Support them.
Go and support them so they can keep coming back, because they're bringing these guys from New Japan in, and that's not cheap. And your opportunity to see the guys from New Japan is much less than it is most of your wrestlers, in the States, because they're there all the time.
Yeah. This MSG show coming up, I guess tomorrow. How many people? How many tickets do they sell? Do you know?
They sold out. That's all I know for
do you
sure.
know like a ballpark number? I wonder if there's gonna be like 60,000 people in there or whatever. I don't know. I can't remember.
The internet's for.
I can't remember what it. Yeah, I know. If only we had a device or any device, I could look up something like this.
If only we had the sum of all man's knowledge in the palm of our hands.
Yeah. So, because I was thinking, the movie The Highlander opens up at a wrestling match at Madison Square Garden, and the place is packed.
Yeah.
And everyone's going nuts, and that's kind of what I'm picturing, is the opening scene of Highlander. But yeah, I was wondering what the capacity might be.
Yeah, I'll let me see if I can.
Oh yeah, if you find it, no problem. If not, no sweat. I'm imagining a lot of people though that they can cram in there. So
yeah, I would assume so. And I guess it depends on. Well, it says it's over 4,000.
Okay.
Were available on StubHub when after they went on sale.
Oh, okay. So that's just a small percentage.
Yeah, that's just a small
of people,
percent.
Just trying to flip them.
Yep.
That's cool, man. Do you know where your seats are?
Yeah, we have floor seats.
No way.
Section
Okay.
D. Yeah. No, it was one of those things where we had to figure out what price point we were willing to spend.
Well, I know there's something for everybody, the super rich and the casual fan, but
yeah. Well, I'm like, if I'm going to New York to watch wrestling,
Sure.
I'm buying expensive tickets.
Yeah.
Screw it.
Yeah.
Like, so $300 seats.
Yeah,
And
done.
yep, we're done. And that's primarily why we're not doing some of the other shows, like why we didn't buy WrestleMania tickets,
Sure.
because WrestleMania tickets for those same seats are in the $1,000 range, and I'm like, I'd like to be able to eat for the next month.
Yeah,
so
staying maybe a little closer, better place, a little closer to where we're gonna go hang out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and there's so much wrestling right now that I feel like we miss out on Mania. We'll still be able to watch it, and we'll be able to go to something else later.
Yeah,
so,
it's all quality stuff though, man. Yeah,
there's so much good stuff.
You're in a good time if you're a wrestling fan.
Absolutely.
It's
just like comic book movies, like same thing. There's so many good ones out there now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear they got a new Spawn coming out too.
They do. Todd McFarlane, he's writing, directing, and producing. He insisted. He held out. He had everything ready to go, but he was approaching movie companies, and his one caveat was, "I want to direct this," and a lot of them were like, "Ooh, I don't. You're not an established director.
Mm-hmm.
We could get someone who directs for a living to do this." Like, nope. I want. That's one of my only caveats.
Yeah.
Is I want to direct. So a lot of them didn't take him up on that, but luckily he found somebody. I I don't see why you wouldn't let him direct. He's got pretty great vision, I believe.
You'd think they just find somebody who could work under him and help him with anything he needs help with in that directing capacity.
Yeah,
I think that would be the way to go. But him being so heavily involved has high hopes. High hopes.
I have huge hopes for this, and I know the HBO animated Spawn series made a couple movies which were they were okay, but they didn't feel like full on McFarlane.
Yeah.
And I think all of us as fans could tell that they didn't go as far as he wanted to. And so, yeah, I got high hopes for this one. And I love that he held out and stuck to his guns and waited until he got what he wanted.
Absolutely.
And, I think it's going to be pretty amazing.
Yep. And I mean, the guys, like, in general, people doing that recently, it's worked out pretty good. I mean, AEW is all about sticking to your guns and doing your own thing. And those guys, they have a hell of a show coming up in May.
Yeah.
That Double or Nothing show is going to be crazy. And that StarCast convention is going to be ridiculous, too. Like, the names they have on that, like, literally all the top guys from over the years. It's pretty crazy. And that's another one, like, when we talk about, like, picking and choosing.
Yeah.
Like, we already had tickets for this. We already had hotels paid for New York. And then they're like, hey, end of May. And I'm like,
oh, crap.
But bank account's not going to be refilled soon enough for me to fly out to Vegas for a week. It's just, I can't do it as much as we wanted to. Though it sounds like they're coming back to Chicago, according to what they were saying.
Oh, cool. Okay, that's and then you don't have to drive.
Yep.
Or you don't have to fly to freaking Vegas.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm just a little bit bummed though, because it sounds like they're going to run the Sears Center again. Which I mean, I get they did put a freaking plaque of them on the outside of the building. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it was really hard to get tickets for the last time they were there. And it's not going to be a larger capacity building this time.
Sure.
So it just it worries me, the availability for actual fans to be able to get tickets. Hopefully they come up with a really good pre-sale option.
Yeah.
That limit tickets to like 2 per person or something.
Good luck.
Yeah. We'll have to see what happens. Hopefully they don't release them on a Sunday either, because that was the other thing. I'm like, I'll just go down and when they open, I'll just go buy tickets. Like, that's fine. But they released them on Sunday last time, and I was like, well, the box office isn't open on Sunday, so now everybody has to do the internet.
Right.
Yeah.
If there was one show in history that you wish you could have been at, is there one that you could have picked? I probably would have picked WrestleMania 3 was a pretty big one. That was the Body Slam, right? Was that the Andre the Giant Hulk Hogan Body Slam in Detroit? I think I would have loved to have been there. And then the first one would have been cool too as well.
Yeah. Now it'll be kind of controversial to say.
Okay.
But 10 years ago it wouldn't have been WrestleMania 20.
Okay.
Which with the WrestleMania we seen Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero win the championships and have that kind of feel good moment at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we all know what happened with Chris Benoit, and what sounds like due to brain trauma, he killed his family and himself.
Yeah.
And that's super, super sad. But doesn't change the fact that event, had you been there live, would have been an amazing night and would have been something you would have remembered. But yeah, no, it's and then Eddie Guerrero passing away, just a few years before.
Yep.
Benoit did, to have that moment and have been able to actually see it live would have been something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking, I ran into Vicky, his wife, correct?
Yes.
Vicky Guerrero. I ran into her in Albuquerque a couple months ago.
Very cool.
And I got a photo with her, so that's
nice. Yeah, I believe their daughter is wrestling as well on the independent scene. Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the legacy continues.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll eventually see her maybe in WWE. Get a chance to perform on that big stage, or maybe AEW looks at her.
Yeah.
There's a lot of second and third gen wrestlers out there right now. Brian Pillman's kids wrestling on the independent scene, and that's really cool. British Bulldog sons wrestling.
Yep.
There's a lot of guys out there who aren't in the WWE spotlight who though are multi-generational talents.
I love that. I love it's been passed down.
Yep.
It's cool. You ever stepped into a ring?
I have not. It's definitely something I've considered over my my life.
Yeah.
But it's just it's one of the things. Opportunity, location. I mean, Grand Rapids obviously doesn't have any kind of wrestling school.
There's no school there.
No,
That's actually surprising. It looks like the schools are opening up everywhere,
well,
and you don't need a fancy.
I believe there is
wrestling
Detroit
school.
and Lansing now.
Yeah.
And I mean Detroit has had them for years, but you know I'm 37 now. I am an old man in wrestling terms.
Okay.
And you know, in my 20s, I would have absolutely been interested.
Had it been available, yeah.
Yep. But you know, at that time, Grand Rapids was still pretty small. And it's only been recently that we've had a convention center as big as like DeVos Place, where they hold C2E2.
Yeah.
And I mean, they didn't even think, like the Comic-Con, when they first ran it, they ran this small little building called the Homeschool Building, which was basically like a high school gym.
Yeah.
And they didn't think it would, you know, be an issue fitting people in there.
Yep. And then it blew
they hit
up.
fire code that year.
Yeah.
And then they hit fire code the next year, the next venue they went to. And I was like, all right, well, that's because the city got really big really quick. And there's a lot of comic book fans.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. I'd love to go down there for the con though. I should hit up Mark Hodges, I believe is this guy's name.
Yep.
Maybe I'll send him an email.
Well, what we're hoping to do is hoping to put together a full-on presentation / panel on comic books and wrestling.
Oh,
crossover.
dude, I would kill to be on that panel.
All right, well, if you can work out getting booked and you know we can get that together, I would be all about having you, man. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean it's such a fun topic, and just even you know. There's so often where we're on the podcast or on YouTube and we're talking about pro wrestling, and then all of a sudden we'll be talking about the most recent Captain Marvel movie, and then we'll be like, well, that's a whole nother podcast. Hashtag a whole nother podcast.
Yeah, but we're still talking about it. But I was like, oh man, we gotta stick to the topic though.
Yep.
I hear you.
Yep. We often get off topic with some comic booky type stuff. So it's just one of the things where the crossover really is real.
Hey, let's make it happen.
Yeah, I'm all about it. Yeah, you should. You hit him up, I'll hit him up, and we'll see what we can.
It's what you do, man. Attack on all fronts, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll make it happen, and I mean, I'll take any excuse to come back to Michigan. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've put the offer out there to a couple of the wrestling guys coming out. I'm like, hey, if you guys need like recommendations of where to eat and drink.
Yep.
Like I'm like, well, we got your hookup, man. We want.
Do they book wrestlers at Grand Rapids Comic Con?
I know he's looking to.
Okay.
I think.
It's a good. I mean, if you're looking to sell tickets to your con, yeah, book a couple wrestlers. It's a slam dunk.
Yeah, I think he's looking for bigger names at a reasonable price point, and I think that is a difficult thing to find.
Yeah, you typically got to pay these people to come out, and it's not. It's not cheap.
Yeah, Dave Bautista is not going to be a cheap name to get. He's like, The Rock, you're not going to get. So like some of your bigger, John Cena, you're probably not going to get. I don't think he's ever done a con.
Right.
So, you kind of have to pick and choose there how much you want to spend based on what level of notoriety these guys have. But yeah. So we'll see what he does. I did forward on him some information. We had a long talk at the Toy and Comic Expo.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And he was like, I need to. I don't have contact info for a lot of these guys finding it. I'm like, I can get you some contact info.
Yeah, Facebook is your friend, man. Sometimes you just hit people on Facebook. You'll be surprised at who replies.
Yeah. Or guy like Jim Starlin just doesn't reply to Facebook.
Yeah.
I've been begging every con I go to get Jim Starlin.
Yeah.
Just get Jim Starlin.
Right.
Because I'm an Adam Warlock fan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna go to Thanos, but
I have the first appearance of Adam Warlock in Thor signed by Stan Lee. In my wall.
Dude. Okay, you're just missing Starlin then.
Yeah. I mean, I have the entire run of Warlock, all of Warlock and Infinity Watch, save one book. The entire Infinity, Gauntlet, Infinity War, all of that stuff. So it's just I'm like, I need to get those Starlin autographs.
Right.
Yeah. And just getting a chance to talk to him about the character. It's just such a fascinating character.
Right.
And that's another one of those characters who it struck me when I was young because he looked like a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
He had that belt and it looked like a world title belt. And I was like, who is this guy? And he had like the cape with like the collar popped up.
Yep.
And
like
it was
a wrestler, man.
Yep. It was such a cool looking character. And then when you got into read it, just Starlin's writing was amazing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. You'll see him.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Like he booked he booked Niagara Falls Comic Con.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn it, because I made a promise to our good friend in Chicago who gives us crash space every time we go to town.
Yeah.
That we would go to the Superman Festival in Metropolis with him.
Yes.
Same weekend.
Okay. So you gotta go to Illinois.
So I'm
right?
like, yep. I'm like,
So
all right,
Metropolis,
well,
Illinois.
we've already committed. We're not gonna back out of that. We'll just
Right.
have to keep waiting to see if Starling does something else nearby.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I keep harassing C2E2 and Grand Rapids Comic Con and Indianapolis, eventually one of them will cave.
Yeah. Good luck, my friend.
Yeah,
I got a good feeling, but yeah, I think I'll send an email to Mark. Like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah.
November, and hey, I'll give him a plug here. November 8th to the 10th, 2019.
Yep.
At the DeVos Place in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yeah.
Hopefully I see you there.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. With a couple of wrestlers.
Yeah, hopefully.
Jake the Snake over here, man. Like he can DDT me on the floor of the DeVos Place.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be entertaining. I'm sure everyone would enjoy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Get that on the evening news.
Yeah, sure, or at least on YouTube somewhere.
Yeah. So did you have a snake phobia? Would that be an issue? Him putting the snake?
No,
on
not
you?
at all. Oh God, no. If he brought, yeah, I think a lot of people at the cons are like, hey man, where's the snake? He's like, oh man, I don't travel with the snake anymore.
Yeah.
Man. Like, yeah, a lot of people asking where the snake is though.
Yeah. Hearing the stories of like the snake getting loose in Diamond
Yep.
Dallas Page's house when he stayed there and his wife freaking out
Yeah.
and like just all the concerns about I can see why he doesn't travel with the snake anymore.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of work, and I'm sure in today's society, I'm sure PETA and animal rights groups would really, really be on him about mistreating the snake when traveling and whatnot. So it makes sense.
It's different time back then.
Yeah.
It's different time.
Yep. Back then when you could actually let someone get bit by a cobra on live TV.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now we're a bunch of wusses now.
Yep.
Can't do anything now.
Now they can't even take a snake bite on the arm. One of
Oh,
those
come
twist
on.
ones. Yeah.
Come on. I miss those days with the razor blades, like people cutting their heads open and stuff. Come on.
Yeah, except for some of those guys did it a little too much. And
Right.
Now you look at their poor foreheads and you're just like, man, I couldn't imagine.
To me, I'm like, man, there goes a real man right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's. Well, I hope your weekend is. It sounds like it's. You got everything planned out. Of course, you never know what's going to happen. Too.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear these stories. So, I'll be subscribing to the YouTube channel and the podcast. So I can keep following along.
Yeah.
I
awesome.
love that you brought family with you, unseen off camera.
Yep, hiding off camera. He was like, "I'm not going to be on camera. It's too early." So I'm
But
like,
you're passing down the legacy though. You're passing down the love, the passion.
Well,
I love that.
I don't know. As someone who grew up without a father, and as someone whose mother wored all the time to take care of me,
Yeah.
we didn't have opportunities to go to Comic Cons or to wrestling conventions.
Just have someone
or
take
anything.
you. Occasionally you might have a friend's mom be able to take you, but not all the time. Not as much as,
our big trips were like an hour away to the beach for the day or something.
like Warren Dunes or whatever.
Yep.
By Lake Michigan. Yeah.
So those were our big trips. So
Yeah.
having an opportunity to take him out, and he gets he had a phase where he loved to cosplay, so he'd wear like the Deadpool
cool.
cosplay
Nice,
and Iron Fist and whatnot.
Love it.
And now he's gotten into wrestling, which it took Kenny Omega and New Japan Wrestling to get him into it. He wasn't a fan of the WWE product, but the New Japan stuff sparked his imagination.
I think it's more fun, man. Personally.
Yeah. I like that.
But what do I know?
I just like that it's got a semblance of reality and sport to it.
Yep.
While at the same time you can just see some crazy stuff in Japan.
For sure.
And the stuff they come out in Japan is just some of
nuts,
it's just
man.
ridiculous.
Yep.
And I dig that. I dig that there's a New Japan wrestling T-shirt that has Hello Kitty on it. I dig that they put out a Betty Boot version of the Bullet Club T-shirt.
Right.
Like I'm like these things don't go together at all, but they exist.
No, a little irony and it's just fun, man.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. So I hope everything goes great this weekend though.
Yeah. I hope so too. I have to learn the New York transit system because we'll be taking the subway a little bit, but it shouldn't be too difficult.
No, you'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, I figured out Chicago in like, I don't know, about 30 minutes. So,
Yeah.
I mean, can't be too
Yeah,
much
New York's
difficult.
cool. It rolls 24/7, and it's safe.
Yeah.
You got nothing to worry about. But
Cool.
how many great movies end up in New York City subway? Like Spider-Man. yeah, a lot of cool movies begin and end down in the New York subway system.
Well, before we seen the schedule for the weekend, I started going through I'm like, all right, we'll have some time Saturday, so let's go list off all the places I want to visit that were movie locations. And then I'm like, yeah, we're not gonna make any of these. We are kind of hoping to make it over to Central Park area.
Yeah.
Just because we both love Home Alone 2.
Oh yeah.
And getting to see the Ding Dang Dong Plaza Hotel.
Yeah.
I mean that'll be fun. That'll be a cool little piece in the blog, and
it's cool. Yeah, you mentioned the firehouse, and I think the Sigourney Weaver's apartment building is around there somewhere up on the I think on the Upper West Side or something like that. So cool, man. I hope we get everything. Yeah, I really do. Yeah. And if not, well, then you got the next trip to cross those off.
Yeah,
and you're always welcome back here.
Well, my buddy John's like, so you're going to see the comic man without me? I'm like, yep. I'm like, dude. I'm like, we've been trying to plan a trip to New Jersey for 4 years, and you keep having stuff come up where you have other things to do.
Yeah, what's he got going on this week?
I don't know.
Okay, doesn't matter.
I think it's
not here.
He's not a pro wrestling fan, so a lot of the stuff we were doing, he wouldn't want to do. So I kind of get that.
All right.
Yeah,
but the stash, man, that would have been worth it alone.
That's what I'm saying.
Everything else, he could have gone and found something to entertain, or just come along.
And it would have cut half my drive because he drove half in 12 hours, man. It would have been great.
Exactly. Well, he's welcome back next time then.
Yeah, I will let him know.
Yeah, for sure. And there's always a seat open for him. I don't know if he podcasts or not, but I'm sure
he's one of the guys who's like, I don't want any internet presence. I'm like, all right,
come on,
okay.
That's no fun.
Yeah. So he has joined me. And something I'm hoping to do. He has joined me for Halo. And we Twitch streamed it, and I found that Brian Pillman Jr. and Tama Tonga are both big Halo fans.
Oh, so they're on there somewhere.
So I really, really want to, when talking to Tama Tonga this weekend, I've already talked a little bit on Twitter with Brian Pillman Jr. I want to see if we can get the four of us into a game and just record. I think that would just be fun.
That would be fun.
It'd be fun. It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be something different. And I mean, it'd be something different for them too.
Yeah, for sure.
They can only talk about the wrestling, so often. So it'd be cool.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, great luck to both of you. Yeah. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. I appreciate
you for coming in here.
Yeah, I'm happy you were willing to have us, man.
Always.
Awesome.
Always. You're always welcome back.
Very cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.